everyone, welcome back to Lord Nemo Gaming. We will be doing the final two missions of Age Mythology, the Final Greek Campaign. We do head back to Atlantis for these remaining two missions, and we finish off this, if you've been watching this great game. I hope you've enjoyed me walking you through this. And yeah, welcome back to Atlantis. Start mission 31 here. You did watch my previous video, and I noted that Gargarensis doesn't talk in that cutscene. That's because it wasn't Gargarensis. It was Kemsit dressed up as Gargarensis as a trick. So this is where we do get access to the Argo. As you see, that the first ship in the line is the only hero ship in the entire game. It's only accessible through Zeus, and to train it in a stock, it's less range than a triune, but it's powerful against myth units. Now, I always set up shop on this little island here. There is 3 different settlements around the map. I just find this one the easiest to start with, as it is only accessible through water. So it just gives you a little bit of extra time to gather your resources and build up an army. Again, they are Poseidon, so they will drop militia. So just be wary. Just use your siege juggernauts. They're already max range, so there's no issue with them taking out towers along that coastline. As we were going, there is towers along that coastline, so just be careful. You don't get too close, as all your units are in those transport boats we see there. Just head into this little valley here. There's a naval ship with a trireme on it. Quickly knock out the trireme in the shipyard. No militia will spawn from that building. So you just find your transport ship with villagers and your heroes. I leave all my units in those transport ships, as this is not where my main base is going to be. It's just a little starter base, so I can build up some resources before I move on to the town centre that I eventually will end up at. Along that coastline, as we just went through, there is a town centre there. It is not the best town centre. It is out in the open, so I don't recommend starting your base there. I recommend starting your base on this one. As you see there, you got some trees and some gold to start with, and then further on the map we will construct our main military base. This isn't going to be the military base. This is just a resource gathering section. You will encounter friendlies around the map. As you see there, the light blue, they are friendly. Around this corner here, there is a fortress and catapults and a reaming ship. So just be wary. The reaming ships are good against siege juggernauts, so just bring your triremes in, and they'll take care of it pretty easily. The main objective of this mission is to rescue prisoners that Gargarensis has enslaved. When we build up the town centre, we will see where they are located, and you do need to take them back to the island that we sailed past. You only need to rescue 15. There's more than 15 prisoners on the map, so you don't have to rescue them all. So you just select the ones that you find the easiest. There are some easy ones, and there are some more difficult ones to rescue. Again, you don't need to rescue them all. It's up to you if you want to rescue them all. Have a little bit of fun. There's some just there, which are quite easily accessed to rescue the prisoners. For this one, you just need to knock down the fortress that's there. Once that fortress is down, the prisoners get rescued. I don't think they can die. They do have health, because they are basically just a villager with a golden glow on them. I don't think they can die, so don't be too worried about that happening. But there are. That was one of the easier ones. There are more difficult ones around the map. The ones mainly in the center of the map, you need to fight through the base just to get there. Whereas there are some easier ones that's held captive by like a watchtower or 3 hydras, which we can easily take care of. You get gifted the 3 Pegasus there. Just use them to scout the map of entry points. But there is another town centre that I do move on to. That's the town centre I was telling you about there. When you do go on to where the prisoners are held, it will tell you basically where and what you need to destroy. So you see that the town centre is right near to fortress. So that's the easy one. I'm just going to knock down one tower to rescue. There's another town centre there. Again, these ones are guarded by the fortress. 4 towers to destroy there. There's a citadel. One that you need to destroy. I do go to that one. If you do scout the waters, there is boats and myth units patrolling. So with the Argo, we can take them down fairly comfortably. And where my Pegasus is now, that is where I will be moving to when I gather up some resources and upgrade my weapons. This is where I move to as my military base, as it has a quick access to that prisoner there and the following 3 prisoner hideouts. You just got to wall off that one section and you're protected. They are in the Mythic Age, as you can see there, so they will have champion units, or at least heavy infantry. So just take the first 10-15 minutes on this little island, build up your resources before you do move on, upgrade your weapons, your infantry, and then move on to that second base, which you can set up the military and basically attack from there. I bring my boats around for a safe passage to that island as the transport boats. I don't want any of them to be destroyed, as they do have Norse and Egyptian units. Watch out when you do get close here. Bring your boats back immediately. So as you see, the Gargarensis invokes a meteor shower, which it's a bit weird because he kind of destroys his own buildings. As you see, they almost flattened one of his own fortress. Build your dock. Get some fishing trawlers out there. So he sort of flattened his own military base. So that's another reason why you don't dock there, because he will invoke that meteor shower, and if you do have your army down there, they will get damaged. See, the Argo's got a bit more range than a standard tri-aim. He's got that double the health, 480 health, knocks down that lighthouse. If you've built a lighthouse, you notice that it has extreme line of sight, so that just knocks that out. So he doesn't know what I'm doing basically. When I bring my transport ships around, he doesn't have the line of sight at that area anymore. But I do have that theory that the AI on this game has line of sight everywhere. Because I've done a couple of random maps where I'm basically instructing my villagers to go off to one corner of the map to gather gold. I never see a scout running around, then all of a sudden they're being attacked by hoplites. I'm like, how do you even know I was there? So that's my theory, that the AI on this game has line of sight. They know what you're doing all the time. Again, militia, them being Poseidon. So just be wary of that when you are assaulting and freeing those prisoners. Any building you do destroy will release the militia, minus town centres. They don't release any militia when destroyed, but every other building will. Fortress, they spawn 6, 7. Wonder, they spawn about 10, and in great numbers. Militia are quite handy. So when I was doing a random map and I was a Poseidon, I would always bring my if I had a building that were destroyed, I'd bring my militia back to my main base, and you end up with like 30 odd militia. So you just sort of build your own army of militia, and they do cause a bit of damage in large numbers. So again, there's towers all along the coastline. There is a skylar up there. So just instruct your triremes and your Argo to take care of it. The Argo will take it out fairly easily. A couple more naval shipyards and boats. Just dispose of them before you do decide to move on and construct your military base. So I find this is the best area to set up shop in this mission. Couple boats in there, militia, 2 naval shipyards. Again, they don't spawn militia, they're just more there as decoration. They don't spawn boats or anything, they're just a bit of extra decoration. So we started to construct the armory. I usually leave after that gold mines are finished. So I'll take my wood and gold gatherers off that island. I'll keep my food gatherers there with the fishing trawlers, because there's no need to move the food production line along. They're on farms, you're not going to get attacked there. So it's just easier to keep your food production on that island rather than moving them on and risking them getting destroyed. When you do free those prisoners, that transport boat and I think Hero Campus become available, so that you can easily just put your prisoners into that boat and set sail and drop them off at the island. Again, that one was only guarded by three Hydra, so we can take care of that pretty easily. Just chip away at the gold, the wood there, until that gold mine is finished. Then move them on and build up the next base. There's the Skylar there, the Argo. Well, there's 2 of them actually. The Argo and the triremes will take care of them. I think I lost maybe two of the triremes in this one, but it didn't really matter because this isn't really a naval mission. It is at the start, but when you do move your base along, it's all land battle. This one only took me about half an hour, so the next level takes me about 50 minutes. The last level is the hardest, being as it is the last level, and I've mentioned on Titan, it can take upwards of 4 hours. But it is also possibly the most fun mission, and it is the most frustrating. So yeah, finish off this gold mine, transport your villagers, and we'll start construction of our military base. As I'm doing here, I thought I'd be able to quickly knock down this fortress and rescue those prisoners and make a quick escape, but those pesky catapults up on the ridge there were causing a bit of an issue. Catapults are very effective against naval boats, not so against standard units. So I just had to build some more siege juggernauts, knock down that fortress that's there, and quickly rescue those prisoners. Now, when I do build this settlement there, those houses do become mine. That's another benefit of this building here. You do get access to these 4 houses, so that is an additional 40 population. Now you can disembark all your units, as you do not need to keep them in a boat. As I say, it's a mixture of Greek, Egyptian, and Norse units. So immediately those houses become mine. I brought along 20 villagers, so 10 each. Wall off this passage, because that's the only access point the enemy does have, and when they do find out that you are there, they will attack. So just quickly build this up, upgrade it to a stone, possibly even fortified, to ensure safety for a longer period of time. Build up some towers, because once they find out that you are there, they will attack. So as soon as you knock down this fortress, the gate on the wall there will disappear. As you see there, the prisoners become yours. Quickly get them out of there. I don't think they can die, but just get them out there just in case. Then you go back to that little island there and just drop them off, and they just sort of stand there until you do rescue 15 of them. These villagers were being a bit weird. but this is where you construct your main military base. I got plenty of food rolling in. Gold's at a decent level. My wood is a bit low. I do like to keep my villager count on all aspects the same for each. So food, wood, gold. I'd like to keep them at this level 10 each. I just select the prisoners they come off. I've rescued 4. Just move them over. 5. Sorry. There's a relic there. Just instruct one of your heroes to take it and bring it back to military base, and then just build up your forces and start the siege and rescuing those prisoners. As I mentioned, they will come and attack that gate. I realised I set up my archery range, military and stable in very poor position, so I do end up deleting them and basically building them again because I realised I've just blocked my own entry to where I need to defend. So just be wary that you don't block your own path through. It was sort of like a choke point there where I couldn't get through, or they couldn't get through either. I did lose a couple of units in this battle. they will continuously train units, so just be wary. Knock down the stables, the military, and the archery range, so they do stop attacking. As you just see there, delete them, get them out of the way. I realise I built them in terrible spots. Prisoners are free. Put them straight onto a boat. Transport them back. As you see, you get the Egyptian catapults, so they are the good catapults. You got a couple of Valkyries there. Keep them alive as long as you possibly can, because they do heal your units. Good gold pots around. So when you think you've done enough damage, here come the Hydras. They're easily dealt with. Being as you got a good variety of units. Knock them out. Free those last prisoners, and then we basically just move on to the final assault for the mission, as you do not need to rescue every single one of the prisoners. You only do need to rescue 15. So I found the first one I did with the fortress, these two, and then the citadel ones are the ones that I do rescue as soon as the Hydras are dead. The wall breaks down and rescue them. Take your units back so you can heal them, but they'll continue to send through one unit at a time, which it's easily dealt with. So as you see, you get access to that boat and that dock. I didn't delete the dock, I just left it there for them to attack. So they waste their time. Build up your force and start the second siege. We're now at 12 prisoners, so we only need to break through one more line of defense before this mission is over. It only takes me about half an hour, which is it's not long, it's not short, it's more in the average range to complete these later missions. I don't really like this level. I find this one quite annoying, but on moderate it is fairly easy. So once they destroy that dock, they move down. They'll continuously just bring one unit through, which kind of it's easy to deal with, but it is also annoying because it kind of halts your healing process, and your army will gradually get closer and closer to them. So it is a bit frustrating. They are coming from that citadel, which I'm about to seize. I've gone to Hephaestus, as is we'll go up here. It's the Plenty Vault. If you're unsure what the Plenty Vault does, it's an infinite supply of food, wood, and gold. You just place it in a spot that you feel comfortable with. It can be taken over, So if you lose majority units in the area, the enemy will take over the Plenty Vault until you can claim it back. It does take up a large space, so just put it out of the way. So it is sort of a building in its own right. I think I do place it down fairly soon. You'll see what it is. And yeah, it's just a constant supply of resource, not favour, but every other resource. So yeah, just place it out of the way, and yeah, you got a constant supply of food, wood, and gold coming in. Here we are now at the Citadel. As you see, it's a few buildings heavily guarded. For the area it is. Citadels, they are the stronger town centre. That is the building you do need to destroy. So destroy these multiple buildings, just get them out of the way. Lay siege to the Citadel, as it will take some time to beat down. Just get your catapults, your scarabs to attack. Their army is behind it. So just be wary that there is an army guarding it just behind. Just there. Quickly knock it down. Free the prisoners, and we finish the mission and move on to the final mission of the regular Mythology campaign. Alright, here we go, the final mission. You do lose a Kantos and a Munra. You do only have a Kantos for this mission. You do have your Norse and Egyptian allies, which they do come in here. As you see, we've got some Valkyries, Dubites, and Mountain Giants to our disposal. They will continuously grant you units. That's the boss, living Poseidon statue. He can only be destroyed by a Kantos. So there's no point continuously sending up a unit. You won't be able to destroy him because he does regenerate his health. Just build this wall here, as it just prevents attacks coming from that side. But I found out they just come down the center point and just go down there and destroy the wall anyway. But we want to keep our Norse and Egyptian friends alive for now. The longer they're alive, the more they are able to give you units. 4 plenty volts there. It's not mandatory to take access of those plenty volts, but if you do have all 4, you will see that your supplies will go up fairly quickly. Now Gargarensis is up on at the gate near the living Poseidon statue. Again, we don't need to kill him. You can, I did for fun once, you can go basically raid the entire town, kill Gargarensis, he'll just lay dead, and then eventually we can go kill the living Poseidon statue. Again, only Akantos is able to defeat this boss. This is a quite a hard mission, even on moderate, as they will continuously attack with champion units that are already in the heroic. I mean, not the heroic, the mythic age. And they will come down with Heliopolis, catapults, and Poseidon's heroes. So they'll constantly come down with Theseus, Polyphemus, champion, Toxotes, Hoplites, and all that, as they're about to come down there. So your units there will slowly disappear as the battle wages on. Basically, the first 10 minutes of this level, it's you basically surviving and building up your resources, so then you can build your units back. So don't be alarmed if the first 10 minutes of this mission you are constantly getting flatlined. Just survive as long as you possibly can, until you can start building up your defences and then take the battle back to them. Now that healing spring does come in handy. So if it is with green, it being green and light blue are your allies, it will heal you anyway. But Gargarensis can take control of it. So when that does happen, just dispose of his army that's around it and go reclaim it. So then you can use his healing abilities. Now you already start off with in the heroic age and with a decent army, but as I said, that army won't last forever. On Titan, that army that you have there may last only one attack, as they will come down with very strong units. If you do want to know when they're coming, just keep a constant eye on the base that's up there, as that's where they do build the army and that's where they do come from. So if you're looking up there and the army is getting bigger and bigger, then all of a sudden it disappears, that means they are coming to attack. So that's a way to keep an eye on them, knowing when they are coming and knowing when you can be ready to withstand attacks as they're building up their army. Now it is extremely heavily fortified up in there. It will take a large army to break down the defences. There is little side spot bases for Gargarensis. Knocking them over will just basically slow down his production of units. Recapturing those plenty volts will gain a substantial boost in resources, but they will come and reclaim them. So just be wary of that. They are guarded by towers, colossi, and everything else. We've got the Hippicans coming through there. Down comes Gargarensis' army, so there's two separate armies there. That Hippican army would have come through the side, but I had it walled off, so they had to come down the middle, and then they proceed to Norse allies. So they're stuck in the Arctic Age, so they've only got very weak Earthsarks, but they will continuously train the Earthsark to aid in their defence. I mean, even on moderately, you see that army that I had, it was quite a large army. It didn't last too long. I've already basically lost the battle, and they're trying to move on down. They will come with heroes. A Cyclops there. Some archers. If they do go and invade the Egyptian side, the Egyptian allies will fight back. So don't be too alarmed. If they do go and invade the Egyptian side, they will fight back. Well, we've lost our Valkyrie, so use the healing spring to heal up those giants, because they do have large health, and they can take some damage for the time being. Yeah, if that was on Titan, they easily would have possibly gone through the entire town and crushed it. That's how difficult it is on Titan. The first couple of waves of attackers is extremely crucial that you do survive and are able to build up your forces, because that first 1 or 2 attacks on your base on Titan really sets the pace of this mission. If you are able to withstand them and have enough resources to continue training, then it does get easier. But if they come through, wipe out your town, you need to rebuild everything, then they come through again and wipe it out again, then I do say restart the mission and try a different tactic. So if you can't withstand those first couple of attacks, then you're not going to survive this mission, as we do need to get to the Mythic Age and build a wonder, which wonders take up 1,000 resources each, plus going to Mythic Age, so we need a minimum of at least 3,000 resources just to be safe. So continually build up your units. They will keep attacking the Norse side, so just keep them alive, because they will give you units. Now the Egyptian first side units that they give you is extremely valuable, because as you see there, we do have the Son of Osiris. You will want to keep him alive as long as possible, because he is a very powerful hero. If you've used him before, he does do the chain lightning attack, and he has high health and high damage, and he can heal, so he is a very good hero to keep at our disposal. Him being a ranged unit, he will be at the back line of your army, so that's another benefit. But if you are getting run over and your army's disappearing, don't leave him out there to continually attack. Hide him in your town centre, hide him somewhere, because you will want to keep him alive as long as possible. The resources that we have around us are very valuable. They are in abundance, so there's no risk of running out of resource around here. So the Son of Osiris heals quicker than a standard priest or a pharaoh. He heals quick, so you can heal that mountain giant back up to full strength in about 20-30 seconds. They're the only 2 giants that the Norse will give you. They won't give you a fire giant. They'll continuously give you mountain and frost giants, and the Egyptian will give you the 4 Nubites. You only do get one Son of Osiris. They won't give you another one if he does die. So that's why it's crucial to keep him alive and use the allied units that they give you as basically your defense until you do get good resource build up and can start creating a dominant force. at this point we are starting to get on top of the enemy. We're building up our resources to a decent level and have survived the initial couple of attacks, which are the crucial attacks that you do need to survive. As from there on, I do find that you do get into rhythm and are able to withstand the attacks easier and have more units left over. As you see there, I do have quite a big army, but each attack that will decrease, then you just have more units left over than normal, so you start to get on top of the enemy. And with Son of Osiris there, he can heal your giants and any units back to full strength for the next attack, which is, as I mentioned, quite crucial to keep him alive, as basically throughout the entire mission. The attacks on the north, they will get more fierce, as you see there. The Hippogons are no heavies, they've got Nemo lions. I just sent over basically half my army over there to protect the north, as we want to keep them alive so they can continuously supply us with the units. They won't last forever. Same with the Egyptian, they won't last forever. Eventually they do get broken down. That's the chain lightning of Son of Osiris. He does extreme damage to myth units and standard units. He is only accessible through worshipping Osiris, and you do get the god power, which is in the mythic age. So he is only available through a god power. You will transform one of your pharaohs into the Son of Osiris. So that is the only way he is able to be accessed, is through the Egyptian side and through a god power. The north side are deteriorating. I don't think they will last for too much longer. But as soon as you can go to the mythic age, go to that mythic age, because you are going to need to build a wonder, which we all know wonders take extreme time to build, being as they are up at 12,000 hit points. So as soon as you can get to the mythic age, advance, because as soon as we get to the mythic age, build the wonder, this mission becomes a piece of cake. Again, more new bites supplied to us. 4 at a time. They will supply. I think this mission took me about 50 minutes, and I didn't do the long route. I went the shorter route. I didn't go claim all the plenty bolts. I considered it, and I thought it's going long enough already. As you see, that Son of Osiris does about 200 damage just to that Cyclops alone. His base attack is 60, and he can chain lightning to about 4 different units. So just each battle, keep an eye on him. So they've started to come in with a couple more siege units. Norse are getting attacked at the same time. You can wall off that area there, but it will continually get knocked down. And I did find that the AI is smarter on this. If I build a wall there, a couple of towers, that they do counter that with a fortress. So 3 hits, the Nemo lion's dead. Do keep in mind the Son of Osiris cannot be healed at the healing sprint. Once he's taken damage, there's no way to heal him unless you do use the restoration god power. I think that's the only way you can possibly heal the Son of Osiris. Some more giants gifted to us. That might be the last giant offering that we do get from them, as I don't see them lasting too much longer. Son of Osiris just heals everyone up. Or you won that battle with plenty of units to spare. That's when you know that you are getting on top. The more units that survive after each battle, the power advantage is going to you. And they're about to go into the Mythic Age, and it will trigger them also going to champion units. I want to put him up plenty vault. I realised I didn't have enough room. So I quickly cut down all that wood, because that's where I wanted to put my plenty vault. Then I realised that's actually a good spot for the wonder. Because you don't want the wonder to die halfway through his construction. As he wonders large buildings. I found a perfect spot for it, and they do take a while to build, so I do recommend putting a fair few villages to construct it, because it will go very slow with just one, as we're about to see. With one villager there, it's been about a minute. They've only done 150 HP on it, so they immediately want to go stop construction of that wonder. So that's why it's best to build it at the back of your base, so then they have to go through your entire base just to get to that one building. Because if you lose it, you lose all your resource. It was 1,000, and it took us 20 odd minutes just to get to that point. So build it up as quick as possible. So there's the fortress there that they do build. So it's best to don't put a wall there, because it's going to be a waste of gold, because it will constantly be knocked over. Again, them being beside, and they do have those annoying militia, which do add up. And that's the trigger point. Norse are about to be flattened. You can't save them. The earthquake will knock every building out. So they're defeated. They will no longer supply you with giants. You can keep control of the healing spring, so I do recommend that you do keep control of that the healing spring, but they will no longer supply you with Norse units. The same will happen to the Egyptian. They will also get flattened by the earthquake, so they will no longer be able to help you anymore as well. I made the mistake there of thinking that I did have a large enough force to possibly penetrate this base down there, and I basically lost all my giants, most of my units, because I did not go in with proper preparation, as I did assault them as they were assaulting me, so I should have backed out. But obviously I didn't, and I paid the price for it, really, because I did lose a large force. We've got a few villages on that wonder now. It is going still fairly so. They are now champions with fire arrows, so their armor is basically at maximum. The amount of archers they have there are doing quite a bit of damage. Again, he goes Gaga and says he's just about to flatten the Egyptian. So they're the last Egyptian allies we will get. I think there's only a certain amount of allies that the game allows anyway. So as soon as you've reached that point, it just triggers Gargarensis to flatten the city. Some couple of colossi here. Yeah, you don't need to destroy that town down there. I just did to disrupt their production, because as you see, units do train from there. So I just found it best to go wipe that out. It just slows down them attacking you for the time being. There is a few buildings. They don't seem to use Son of Osiris. It's not worth it, him dying. For this little mission here. You see a tower, watchtower, town centre there, military barracks, which they do train units through, so it is basically going down here to knock out the production line of the military personnel. Make sure you do have some catapults at your disposal to quickly knock out any buildings. And you will need defenders, because as you've seen with this mission, they will constantly assault your base, no matter what. Even if you are up there assaulting them with the final push, they will continue. They will still bring down units and try and wipe you out at the same time. Broken through the main lines there of the town centre. It just opens up another gold supply for you to access. The siege at the end, you will need basically a mixture of every single unit you have in your supply, because I just send that they do send down a mixture of everything. Your hoplites, your cavalry, your siege, your archers, they will send down a mixture of everything. So you just train counter units to them. If they send down hoplites, just send through a counter. Infantry, if they send through the peltasts, just send through hippogans. And yeah, if I basically do that, and you come out on top on the battles most of the time. Again, another tower there. Destroy any temples you do find, because you do get a gift of a meteor storm. As you're about to see, when I destroy this temple, Zeus grants you a meteor storm, which they do pile up. So if you destroy 2 temples, you do have access to 2 meteor storms, which you don't use it here. use it on the final assault up on their base. As you've seen there, there's about 4 fortress, a few temples, a couple town centres. So that's the best time to use the meteor storm. So we immediately get granted the meteor storm per temple destruction of Gargarensis. And we destroyed this production line of military personnel for them. Knock out the houses, just reduces the amount of units they can train. Here they come assaulting again. Just bring this army back if you don't have enough protection. As I didn't have any enough protection there anyway. So just send that force back if you can. Keep the siege here going though. Slowly break it down if you can. They are causing a bit of a hassle at the moment with the Heliopolis. The Heliopolis, they don't look like much, but they do have high health, and they do cause an issue, even if they are just attacking your standard infantry unit. The 3 near-me lines on Colossus, that's a hard task for standard infantry, but for my Son of Osiris, he'll quickly dispose of them. I think we've almost completed the Wonder, which once you do complete that, you will see why this mission is basically unbeatable from that point on. I forgot that I did go at Hephaestus, and his now I've just realised that the Forge of Olympus upgrade will reduce the cost substantially on all armory upgrades. So if you do go for Hephaestus, make sure to research that, because it will reduce the costs to a significant level. There's plenty of vault here. It's just guarded by 2 Colossi and 2 Towers, so that's one of the easier ones to take control of. But they may take it back if they do their sweeps with their units. They may eventually take this one back. But there's only 1 point of entry to this one, so it's one of the least likely ones to get taken back. Whereas one of the other 3, they are more out in the open, so there is a higher chance that if you do take control of it, you will lose it eventually. And now that we've finished the Wonder, you do get this one time only God Power, as you see there. Invoke it onto a Cantos, and it turns him into a demigod, which he is unbeatable. And from this point on, you honestly can't lose this mission. If you do get a Cantos to demigod stage, you physically, unless you're terrible at this game, you can't lose, because he's unbeatable. He would easily dispose of 6, 7, 8 Titans in one go. So once you have him, this is where you can start having a bit of fun with him, as he's basically a one-man army. Nothing can stop him. So you can easily just use him to go around, destroy everything, because he won't be defeated. So at this point on, I was considering just having a little bit of fun with Acanthos as we select on him there. 2-3, 2-5 health, up in the 80% armor, and he does 150 damage. And his special ability is he does swing his spear around, so anyone who gets caught in the line of fire basically will get flung back. To put into concept of how powerful he is, he can take out a Colossus in 2 hits with his strength, which I think it does get shown in this video. He can easily destroy a Colossus at 1100 health in 2 hits. That's how powerful the demigod version of Acanthos is. He's only available in this mission. So that is why I do say, once you get him, take advantage of it, as you'll never get to use him again unless you go to the editor section of the game, where you can create your own levels. You can put him in as a usable character. So that is the only other way you can use him. But in campaigns, this is the last mission you have Acanthos. He does appear in the Titans expansion, but only in the cutscenes. He's not a usable character. So this is the last mission you do get to use Acanthos. It's not the last mission that you do see him. You will see him in the Titans expansion as he helps out in the defeat of the Titans. But if you do want to have fun with Acanthos, this is the mission to do it, because he's virtually indestructible. As we see, that's his special ability. He does a large area damage, and the Colossus dead. Couldn't even put up a fight. And his regeneration is quick. The demigod Acanthos, his regeneration is fast. It's not the slow regeneration. So if he is getting pelted by archers, his health probably won't even budge. It will do the 2-3, 2-4, and instantly go back to 2-5, and constantly keep changing between those two numbers, because he's got fast regeneration. So we knock down another temple, and we get gifted another meteor storm. I think I ended up with about three of them at the end, which I just used when I went to assault the final army and base of the game, which you see we are on Atlantis, and the gate isn't being hit, so there is no time limit on this mission. You can literally do this mission for as long as possible. There is hidden base, buildings and units around the map, so just use your Pegasus to discover them and do what you will with them. But at this point on, as you see, I'm well on top. I have the resources there to comfortably build as many units as possible. My units left over during the battles is significant, so I'm well on top in the power advantage at the moment, and at this point in the mission, I can't lose. Again, up to you. I've got control of two plenty bolts because I did put the power of mine on. There's Gargarensis down there at the gate. When you do go siege, myth units will continuously spawn in that area, which Acanthos in his state can easily dispose of. The statue can't even kill him, can't even do significant damage, so you could basically just have him running around up there destroying everything. The statue of Poseidon will follow him, attack him every now and then, but it won't do enough damage to defeat him. So when you're up there with Acanthos, you can have a ton of fun up there, basically. Now, I targeted those two temples with my Meteor Storm, because if I do destroy them, I do get gifted a Meteor Storm. So I used one Meteor Storm to gain the power of 2, basically. It just holds production on myth units for them. There's multiple temples up there. There's 4 different fortresses up there, and 2 guarding each entry point as we begin our final siege. But as I was about to do that, I did see that they were sending their units down, so I just held off, waited until they came back. I wiped them out, and then we begin the final siege. That's what I was telling you about. Is I believe the AI knows you're everywhere. How could they possibly have known that I was there mining gold? There's no possible way for them to have known that unless the AI has infinite coverage of the map. That's the first time that they've sent their army down that way. If you've watched this video, that is the very first time that they have sent their attacking army to that spot, and it is the first spot that I was gathering gold there. So how the hell did they know that? That's my theory on that the AI on this game has basically obstinance god power from the very beginning, because there's no possible reason for them to come down that way. Every other attack they've come through the same way. There's one time I've got gold gathering there. Look at that, they come and attack. So how could they possibly have known that? That's why I do think the AI on this has a little bit of a cheat in it. But other than that, it's a fantastic game. It's a 10 out of 10 game. It's just that little bit there that ticks me off when I'm doing random maps. How did they know I was there? But now that army's wasted away, we can start the final siege. just use your catapults here to knock down those weakened fortresses. As you've seen with the meteor storm, they basically weakened them to a point where they can't do much or cause much of a hassle. So it didn't take them. Took one catapult, three launches to raid it to the ground, and then destroy these units that are guarding there. Again, with the Cantos, he'll dispose of them, like stepping on a cockroach, basically. And then we move forward into the enemy stronghold of Gargarensis. Well, a couple of their units already defeated. I defeated their army on the way through. As we're about to see here, what the damage Acanthos does at Nemo Online. The swinging attack there doesn't do much, but the Nemo Online being 550 health dead in basically one hit. Again, there with the Colossus, he had about 1,000 health there, and 2 hits he's dead. That's the statue of Poseidon. He does quite a considerable amount of damage, but to Acanthos he does nothing. So Acanthos there, he's doing large damage. So at this point on, we've won. We can't be defeated. See there, Acanthos, he's taken no damage, and the Poseidon statue is taking considerable damage. And once that's over, it does proceed to a cutscene, and basically finish the game. And with that, that's the death of Gargarensis. He dies by his own creation, and Atlantis gets sunk. So I hope you've enjoyed this rundown of Age of Mythology. This is the final campaign. My next video will be the entire game uploaded in one full playthrough, then move on to another game. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Leave a like, leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe if you've like this content, and I'll see you on the next one.